Right, back as I mentioned, forward investigation into the Nelson Mandela Bay Executive Mayor Niekerk has finally gotten off the ground. He was accused last year of using the municipal letterhead without council approval to appoint Boqwana Burns Attorneys, with the Metro later accumulating about 551,000 rands of legal fees. For more on this conversation, we're now joined by Lance Grootboom of the African Christian Democratic Party, and they are the ones who've opened a criminal case on this matter back in September. Lance, good to have you. Thank you very much for coming on. Since September, what has been happening on this particular matter?
Good evening, Tabo, good evening to your viewers. Yes, Tabo, basically the matter is still under investigation. Like you said, I've opened this case somewhere on the 12th of September. And the matter was investigated by the Hawks, and I believe that the investigation is almost finalized. The docket is now with the prosecutor. There were a few statements that was outstanding. Those statements has been obtained. It's now for the prosecutor to make a decision on whether he's going to prosecute or whether he's going to arrest or not the mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay. What also happened is I wrote a letter to the speaker, I think last year after I've opened the matter, and I requested the Speaker of Council, which is Eugene Johnson of the ANC, to also investigate the matter internally, because the ACDP was of the view that there was also a breach of the code of conduct for councillors. And obviously that was a very slow start to the matter, because we managed to get an ad hoc committee appointed, but that ad hoc committee did not sit after a number of meetings that was called, and there were no quorum, and there was a chairperson appointed, and some of the parties were unhappy with the chairperson, and now a new chairperson is appointed from the ANC. Like I said, they were not happy with the chairperson from the DA. So there was a chairperson now recently, 2 weeks ago, appointed by that represent the ANC. I think his name is Mr. Councillor Norshe, and he will be now be the chair of that ad hoc committee investigating, obviously internally, whether the breached the code of conduct for councillors.
Yeah, so you think that is a political move? At least the DA thinks so?
There is definitely a political move, because also the way the ad hoc committee was set up in terms of the numbers are not fair. And they were very unhappy that the chairperson was not within their coalition. So therefore, I believe that the NA, which is the party that Gary van Niekerk belonged to, were very unhappy, including the EFF. And as a result, they decided to put an ANC chairperson there. But like I said, that is obviously their way of protecting, that's what I believe, Gary van Niekerk. But what we are happy at this stage is that the criminal investigation is still ongoing. And I know in the next few weeks or so, the Hawks might be coming for Gary van Niekerk as the prosecutors wrapping up on his investigation.
So the mayor believes this matter is deliberately being drawn out, he says, by design, just to continue with the mudslinging of his name in council. And he's glad that this matter is now being investigated. The sooner the better. He says, I know my name will be cleared.
Yeah, I don't know if he's really happy, but like I said, the matter is being dragged on by his own coalition. It is not being dragged on by the opposition. We have been waiting since last year for action to be taken, and that has not been done. So the criminal case, obviously, there were a lot of outstanding reports, statements that the investigating officer from the Hawks had to obtain. And I think the prosecutor wanted to make sure that he has a watertight case, because we believe in that evidence of a prima facie nature, and that there is a solid case against the mayor, and that we believe that he will be arrested in the next few the weeks that to come, and he will have to face the music in court.
So what is the pillars of your case? That he forged a signature? Is that what you're unhappy about in terms of the process that would have led to him getting the legal representation.
Yes. What happened, Thabo, is that on the 22nd of March, that is in 2022, the Northern Alliance, which is the political party that the Mayor Gary van Niekerk belonged to, the city manager then, Ms. Nwazi, declared vacancies. So there were vacancies declared, and as a result, Gary van Niekerk at that time was the Speaker of Council. And because of the vacancies declared, he was no longer a councillor. So what happened is between March and September, he was not a councillor. But he then wrote a letter, I think it was somewhere in the 8th of June, to the attorneys, informing them that he was still a councillor. So he was pretending to be a councillor when he was not a councillor. And he was pretending to be the Speaker of Council when he was not the Speaker of Council. And then what happened is he then bind the municipality contractually. He entered into an agreement with this attorney to represent him for his personal matters that deals with his political party. And he wanted now the municipality to pay for that. So there are two problems with this whole thing. We believe he committed fraud because he pretended to be a councillor when he was not. So he basically misled the attorneys. And then secondly, we believe that he did not have the authority to do that because remember, councillors or office bearers, in the case, if he argues that he was a councillor at the time, a councillor is still not in the position to bind a municipality contractually, because politicians are not allowed to do that. There is an interference in the administration. So that is only done by the city manager and officials within the municipality. But he wrote a personal letter to the attorneys giving them instructions, and they were under the impression that this was on behalf of the municipality. So they basically gave him legal advice and assisted him in legal matters, of his party, his political party, and now he wanted to use the taxpayer, the ratepayer's money to pay that bill of 500K. And for that reason, we decided to open a case because of the fact that we believe he committed fraud. And the payment of that money would have resulted to fruitless and wasteful expenditure. Hence, we wrote to the Speaker and the city manager informing them that the law also says that if any official or political office bearer becomes aware of any irregular fruitless or wasteful expenditure, such a matter must be investigated. And that led to the internal investigation against him as well. So there are two investigations running parallel, the internal one, the council one, and then the criminal one that, like I said, is about to be finalized very soon.
And you're saying those two give you justification to call for a motion of no confidence. Do you believe it will be supported?
Yes, I have called for a motion at that time because I believe that the allegations were very serious. But because of the protection coming from his coalition partners, they did not want to obviously entertain the motion, and they had the numbers to protect it. But I believe if he gets arrested next week or within this month of May, they will have no choice basically to appoint a new mayor, or a vote of no confidence will suffice under the circumstances, because we cannot have a mayor that has been arrested for serious allegations, a serious matter of fraud. So I think it will be very bad of the coalition if they proceed still to protect the mayor, knowingly that there is that he was arrested or charged. But Thabo, you must understand, this is a clear-cut matter. Why do I say that? The mayor, admitted that he appointed the attorneys. He said he did it in the interest of the municipality. Now, that alone is an admission of guilt, and they should have taken action against him. We as the ACDP, we wrote to the National Treasury, we wrote to COPTA, informed them about this matter. So they are also watching this matter, especially National Treasury. They have looked whether there was any money paid to these attorneys to see the current mayor is not doing that. So basically, the mayor is sitting with a huge problem. And as an attorney myself, I know there's a prima facie case against him, and it's just a matter of days that he will be arrested, and we might have a new mayor in Nelson Mandela Bay, because if these coalition partners in this election month decides to hold on to somebody implicated in such a serious matter, they must be very careful, because the residents of the city is watching. And you must understand, nothing is happening under this coalition. Services are at the record low, and we just lost 171 million because the municipality did not spend on their capital expenditure. So there were a lot of communities in Nelson Mandela Bay that suffered, that would have had services, that did not get it because of that money that they did not use, because of their lack of delivering services to the people in Nelson Mandela Bay. So it's up to the ANC and the Patriotic Alliance and the EFF, because that is their coalition, to decide, are they going to keep on to this mayor, or are they going to let him go? But like I said, there's a strong case against him. It's up to the Hawks to take action. The internal one, we know they will play politics there, because they hold the numbers there and they will protect him. But I think on the criminal matter, the external one, they got no powers there. There, I believe that the Hawks and the MPA will do the right thing, and making sure that the evidence they have available to them, they will make sure that Gary van Niekerk, I believe, under the circumstances,
Lance
must be
Grootboom,
arrested and charged and brought before court.
I appreciate your time, sir. Let's leave it there for tonight. Thank you very much for coming on. That's Lance Grootboom there, speaking on behalf of the ACDP's councillor in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro Municipality. Right.